to Mother Nature's devastating destruction, to epic blasts of unbelievable cosmic power. All of them reveal a universe of lurking perils, like exploding stars, apocalyptic asteroid impacts, and invisible jets of radiation streaming across the universe. The cosmos is a place of ever-present danger. But what's amazing is that in the entire universe, nothing is more powerful than the colossal explosion that created it all, the Big Bang.
The Big Bang is an amazingly difficult thing to wrap your brain around, which isn't surprising when you're trying to think about the universe being smaller than the head of a pin.
Actually, smaller than an atom. About as small as the proton at the center of an atom. Whatever the universe was at the very beginning, some 13 billion years ago, we think it was tiny, an infinitesimal nugget of space. And then something happened, triggering the most colossal explosion in history. In a billionth of a billionth of a billionth of a second, the universe grew from the size of that tiny point to something billions of miles away. Colossal blast. And it did all this without even making a sound.
还有气球，还有蛋糕，还有一群巧克力，还有椰子，喜欢吃。不要唱哥哥。我要打哥哥，我要吃这哥哥。
It was not just an explosion of material into an empty universe that was sitting there waiting. It was the explosion of space and time into existence to begin with.
And that's what trips most of us up. Before the Big Bang, there was nothing. Literally nothing. And the black void of space is something. So is time.
爸爸，我带你气球球，很多气球，还有气球蛋糕，气球。
Likewise, to ask where the Big Bang occurred is meaningless because there was no space.
婆婆。
300,000 years after the Big Bang, the first atoms formed. 200 million years later, the first stars were born. And 500 million years after that, the first galaxies, including our own Milky Way, began to form. The Big Bang powered the expansion of space, and all matter, including every galaxy, was dragged along with it. A balloon works as an analogy. The surface of the balloon represents the universe. Each red dot on the balloon is a galaxy, and the blowing up of the balloon represents the expansion of the universe. As the universe expands, the space between each galaxy increases, driving them further and further apart from one another.
No matter which little dot we sit on, every other dot is running away from us. The farther away we look, the farther dots are running away from us faster. And in fact, there may be some dots that are running away so fast that they go over the edge and we can't see them.
For decades, we've known the universe is growing in size. But scientists had assumed that gravity, the force that attracts and pulls objects towards one another, would eventually stop that expansion and cause the cosmos to fall in on itself in something called the Big Crunch. But then in 1998, scientists made a shocking discovery.
School time.
We discovered that the universe wasn't slowing down, it was speeding up. And at that point, you suddenly realize, gravity doesn't explain this anymore.
But what did explain it? What immense power fuels this accelerated expansion?
We don't have the slightest idea what serves to expand the space between the galaxies. It's one of the great puzzles in modern science.
To use for school time or learning reverses.
It flew in the face of everything we knew and understood about nature.
Behavior. Shiners. So we have here.
So, like a sinister villain in a comic book, astronomers gave it the name dark energy.
Balls, some foam pieces, little cloth flowers.
The whole concept of dark energy is really pretty bizarre, almost flying in the face of physics as we understand it. When we look at the expanding universe, we would expect that gravity would act as a decelerating force to slow that expansion down. However, what we really find when we do a very careful observation is that that expansion is accelerating. It's speeding up. And that result is completely unexpected. It's as bizarre as if suddenly one day gravity just stopped working around us.
Here, so you can see tons of different objects. Have some feathers, have some little balls, some foam pieces, some little.
Even though scientists are baffled, they know that dark energy makes up 70% of what's out there in the cosmos. So finding the answer to this great mystery has become science's holy grail.
Little pipes, sticks, or hearts.
Nothing excites a scientist more than something we don't understand, because that means there's a mystery still left out there to solve. And so, dark energy is sort of the mystery du jour.
Sometimes. So what I do is
dark energy isn't just mysterious. It also has a menacing side.
For example, I have
if this acceleration continues, some scientists suspect our Milky Way could tear apart. Planets in the solar system would fly away from the sun, and it might get much worse. Everything in the universe could be ripped apart.
Starts building the body. On and on.
If you just expand space-time too quickly, you get dragged along with it, and literally you can rip apart the planets, you can rip apart the molecules, and even the atoms, until you just get sort of a uniform sea of the finest paste of subatomic particle that can't get ripped down to anything more fundamental, in a universe that just accelerates out beyond imagination.
Good little incentive.
Fortunately, scientists estimate it would be at least 20 billion years before this apocalyptic
every time
end.
you meet a big number. Let's see, what else? Oh, I make a little picture of a tree. And he gets to put apples in his tree.
太难了，哥哥听不懂。哥哥用一下 iPad， 哥哥用给你看。
我自己看。
不要。
自己看。
不要。
多看。
不要。
多看。